Konnichiwa, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about suggestions. Eigo desu. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. This is the 8th year of the Sales Japan Series podcast, broadcasting around the world from the Beverly Hills of Japan, Minato-ku here in downtown Tokyo. It is chic central. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Presen no Tachijin. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Tonin de Okane o Moni Suru wa Yamemashou, and my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery, and all are available on Amazon. In this podcast, I want to help you to survive, and even better, thrive in business. I want you to 1, sell more and do it more easily. 2, exceed your target. In fact, let's blow up your targets. Number 3, make some serious money. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We're not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series. And every second Tuesday, the Business Tachijin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 408, and today we're talking about balancing questions with suggestions in sales in Japan. We know that there are a lot of salespeople in every country who are totally untrained. They've cobbled together bits and pieces of the sales process, but they don't have the whole picture in their brains. I remember when Dave Stearns, a Carnegie Master Trainer, came to Tokyo to certify us as sales trainers. He started with the top left-hand corner of the very large whiteboard, and then he slowly outlined every single aspect of the sales process, and the flow filled that whiteboard from top to bottom, from left to right. It was an amazing tour de force from someone who is a real master. At the time, I was sitting there thinking, I could never do that. Well, today, I'm using our sales process and doing the exact same thing in my head when I sit across from the client. The only difference is that in Japan, it is rare to get through the whole process in one sitting. Here, it is more likely we get up to the point of the questioning model, and the explanation of the solution comes in the next meeting as we present our proposal. At this future point, we will go into handling the objections and then closing the sale. Again, in Japan, that closing of the sales part of the process may not trigger an agreement, but it will set off an internal process to do due diligence on what we are suggesting. The decision-making process here in Japan is complex, hierarchical, and glacial, with many actors involved. Most of the key decision-makers we will never meet. It is up to the people sitting in front of us to become our champions and push the deal through. This internal harmonization process, though, takes a lot of time, and at no point do we have any leverage. Telling our champions, hey, speed things up, is like a sick joke. They simply don't have any capacity to do that as they seek internal agreement to move forward. In the Ringi Seido decision-making system, the section leaders, division heads who will be impacted by the deal through the changes it will trigger, attach their hunker or seal on the proposal document to signal their agreement. When there are enough of these achieved, the document gets elevated to the director level, and usually they rubber stamp approve it because they know all the due diligence has been completed down below. Find out more when we come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public courses, and we also have custom in-house programs as well as both in Japanese and English. We do classes in our super safe classroom, and we do them live online. The show today is being brought to you by, on the 5th of December, our 3-day Dale Carnegie course. Also on the 5th and 6th of December, we'll be doing a high impact presentations course. Our website is www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. Email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 2,300 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, every Monday Tokyo time. Fridays we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and on Saturdays we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs right up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Don't forget to grab my business best-selling books on Japan on Amazon. Japan Sales Mastery, which is Saegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Presen no Tachijin. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muru ni suru no wa yamemashou. And my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery. And all are available on Amazon. Welcome back. To bridge between the question component and to be invited to propose our solution, we have to move into the suggestion phase. There is no great detail required at this point. What we are doing here is try and make sure that what we are thinking will be a good fit for what they are after. We've heard their story, we know what they want to achieve, and mentally we are rummaging around our magic solutions box to see if we have what they need. We explain in rough terms what would be involved and check to see if that sounds directionally correct. If they think that will work, then we are invited to submit our proposal along with all the other potential rival suppliers they are talking to. The proposal will go into much greater depth and detail about what is involved and how it will work in practice. It may not be precise enough, but if we are most of the way there, we can still refine it further according to their feedback, and we are not out of the running yet. Naturally, pricing has to be attached, and if we are higher than our rivals, which hopefully we are because our quality is better, then we submit and see if they go for our ideas. This is important because at this point, these are just ideas. Until we get the business and can execute, the buyer has to take our word for it, that we can do what we say we can do, and at the quality level we say we can provide. There is a lot of trust included at this point. This is why the way we present has to be very well executed. We have to be making suggestions and constantly checking back to see if there's a match. If it isn't, we need to know that information early and redirect to something else we think may work. The level of confidence we have and the degree of detail we can provide at the top of our head without referring to any materials is important. It sends a message to the buyers that we know what we are doing. We've done this before and we know the results we can deliver. Mentioning previous projects with other clients is important because it means we are not using them as the test bed. Japanese firms don't want to be the guinea pigs for anything. They want to know that it already works. We may not be able to drop the names of clients, but when we describe what we did and what happened, they are relieved to hear there is a track record of successful implementation already. the way we describe it is so key. We have to do it with supreme confidence, belief, and knowledge to demonstrate we know our stuff. Thank you for joining the Sales Japan series. If you found the program useful, then please work on your karma and share this with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you've learned. Go out there and survive. Use it and make some serious money. Bucks, dough, ruler, coin, dosh, lolly, readies, smackers, earners, and bread and honey. Remember, I'm in your corner, your go-to guy for soft skills training in Tokyo, committed to your success here in Nippon.